Friday insights from the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. Meteorologist Danielle Noyce here. An important update with the storm moving in. Here's what to expect, the general headlines, and then we'll get into the details in this video. Start time is morning to midday in southern New England on Sunday. Lifts north from there, ramps up quickly. Heaviest falls from 5 p.m. till about midnight. That's when snow rates may top out 2 to 4 inches per hour in spots. That will result in near blizzard conditions. Changing snow consistency. Yes, it'll be fluffy for many of us, but at the coastline, particularly in southeastern New England, there will be a wetter, pastier snow for a time. We'll talk about that. It's lighter snow, but it snows much of Monday. There'll be some lulls. It'll pick back up. So the back edge doesn't come in until Monday evening in spots, even a little bit later in eastern New England. So this is a longer duration event. Wind chill, too, falls in the single digits on Monday, so that'll make cleanup tough. We'll talk more about the wind gusts as well. Now, we had a pre-storm live stream on Thursday. Matt got into the nuts and bolts, the nitty-gritty of the storm. That's for Inside Track members and above. Membership.onedegreeoutside.com to sign up. And the best part, it's interactive, so you can ask your questions. We'll like to put another one on Saturday before the storm as well. And the best part of our app is that you have everything on there, a link to our live stream, the 24/7 streaming network, our individual videos, and of course, your personalized forecast for your city or town. You can pinpoint your exact spot. And our app is free, thousands of 5-star reviews. Give it a download. Now, the Arctic air moving in. Highs on Saturday, only in the teens south, single digits north. The wind's going to be gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour. So at the warmest time of the day on Saturday, it feels like it's around 0 in southern New England and 15 to 25 below 0 in northern New England. Now, these are one of the maps that are included in our 1 Degree Outside enthusiast membership. We've put the frostbite exposure time on here, and notice that oranges or the reds indicate as little as 10 minutes in far northern New England for frostbite to set in. So that's why we say layered up and bundled up, covering up the exposed skin. And notice even through the Saturday afternoon in the mountains in far northern New England, in as little as 15 to 30 minutes, that frostbite concern. Then that line comes farther south again by Saturday evening and night. Then it will retreat a little bit on Sunday, a little less wind and not quite as cold in terms of the Arctic air in place. And this cold air, of course, is setting the stage for our snow. Saturday night, 15 below 0 in parts of northern New England, single digits all the way back down to the south coast, feeling as cold as 20 to 30 below 0 and sub-zero all the way down in southern New England. What's interesting on Sunday, and you notice this map, most of these high temperatures will be reached later in the day. So yes, this tells a good story about the consistency. Fluffy through the interior, where temperatures are running in the teens to around 20 in southern New England, single digits in northern Maine. But then do you notice the 20s to lower 30s even for portions of the Cape? So that's where at the coastline of the South Shore, the South Coast, the Cape and the Islands, we do get into a little bit of a wetter consistency for a time as that milder air works in over the course of Sunday night. So the storm itself wreaking havoc down across the South. Snow, ice, sleet, areas of rain down across the southeastern United States. For us, you notice the leading edge coming in Sunday morning. It breaks out first in Connecticut, and I'll show you a more zoomed in map in a second. The storm center likely to pass just south and east of Nantucket, and then we've got another low that's going to kind of interact with that. So as it pulls away on the backside of it, we drag in colder air, and so on the backside, there will be a fluffier consistency once again for southeastern New England as the temperature drops, but much of the day on Monday featuring pockets of snow that will be lighter in intensity, but that's why it's a longer duration event. So let's zoom in here. Sunday, pre-dawn, right? Most of us are fine. The snow comes into southwest Connecticut first, though, between about 4 and 6 a.m. and spreads north and east from there. So about mid to late morning, either side of the Mass Turnpike, lifts northward towards the Mass-New Hampshire border. By the time we get to, let's say, 11 a.m. to noon or so, maybe a tad longer for places like the Merrimack Valley, but it fills in very quickly. So it goes from nothing to pretty much a wall of snow. And that's why the height of this, you notice, is late afternoon through the evening hours. The last spots to see it far central and northern Maine, it takes till the evening and the first part of the overnight. There comes a little bit of that mixing on the mid and outer Cape to Nantucket with some relatively milder air that comes in. So some sleet mixing in that's going to help compact things. And then by Monday morning, notice we flip back to snow even in those areas. There will still be some pockets Monday morning that have 1 to 2 inch per hour snow rates. And do you see there are some lulls that come in over the course of Monday morning, but then we fill back in. So that's why I say it snows kind of off and on much of Monday. Yes, lighter consistency, but look at this, right on through the evening, still snowing in many areas with the back edge coming in and things kind of breaking apart over the course of the evening. But even until about 11 p.m. or midnight, there may be some leftover flurries in eastern New England. before we clear the skies out after that. So this is a huge area of 12 to 18 inches across much of northern, central, western New England. Let's zoom in here across southern New England, where 15 to 20 is likely for much of eastern Massachusetts. We've got the plus in here because we wouldn't be surprised if we see a 22 or 24 inch amount that comes back. It will come down to where the coastal front sets up, right? The most intense snow rates just to the northwest side of that coastal front. For somewhere like the South Coast and the Upper Cape, you are in the 12 to 18. We're going to cut back amounts a little bit with some of that mixing that comes in for the Outer Cape back down to the islands, but it's a wetter, pastier consistency. So outages become a concern at that point. Same for southeastern New England when you just have that much snow. So pockets of outages, 9 to 12 there, and most of northern New England. Great news for ski country. This is a 12 to 18 inch event right along the Canadian border, maybe more like 9 to 12. And then Bangor points north too. The amounts will ramp down a little bit, 6 to 9 and 3 to 6 across the far northern crown of Maine. I do want to show you briefly the temperatures at 6,000 feet. So basically just above our heads, the red line indicates the freezing line. I just want to show you the reason for the mixing on the Cape is because we get a little bit of milder air that comes in. So you do notice places like Nantucket, and if this wiggles just a little bit, Outer Cape back down towards the Vineyard. That's why we may get a little bit of mixing with sleet for a time, maybe even some raindrops on Nantucket before that colder air comes back on the backside of the storm and the storm departs. So very cold, and through the interior will be a really fluffy snow, and that's why it piles up so quickly. Now, predicted wind gusts. The wind is not a huge concern with this storm. That said, I do think we have blizzard conditions for a time as we head into Sunday evening and night. Notice the wind does ramp up. It's coming out of the northeast. Don't focus on the exact number, but Nantucket, because you're closest to the storm center, we may have gusts that go 40, 45 miles per hour, an isolated gust to 50. And do you notice the yellow highlighting right at the coastline? So Sunday night into Monday, some gusts 30 to 35 miles per hour, isolated 40. Keep in mind, blizzard conditions are gusts 35 miles per hour or greater. Then the wind shifts around to the north and northwest on the backside. Oh, Monday, no, it's not a damaging wind, but it's 10 to 25 miles per hour, isolated gust to 35. So on the backside of it, as that cold air comes back, it's going to be a biting wind chill as you're dealing with cleanup over the course of the day on Monday and even into Tuesday as well. And that's part of the problem. The cold goes nowhere through the middle and end of next week. And you'll see that in our app. You can watch anytime, anywhere, by the way, on our 24/7 streaming network, New England's first and only. Watch us on TV. You can open up the YouTube app and search 1 Degree Outside Network, always at 1degreeoutside.live as well if you're on a computer or tablet, and just tap the home screen of our app to watch it as well. Of course, we'll keep you posted on everything in the next couple of days. Updates always at 1degreeoutside.com and on social media as well.